I think we need a bigger hand for the kids than you guys. Come on, guys, let's warm it up. Yeah! Woo!
And if anybody was worried about the future, I wouldn't be worried. You just saw what the future is. So we have a short video presentation for you, and then we will do proper introductions after that short video presentation. So if you're ready to roll, but everybody please be seated back there, please. We'd appreciate that. Thank you.
In the history of modern-day Pakistan, there is a person whose credibility is unquestionable, and his call motivates Pakistanis to the point of frenzy. His courage to lead from the front has brought accolades for Pakistan. His commitment to Pakistan is absolute. His belief in an educated and learned Pakistan is exemplary. And his dedication to serve and change the destiny of the people.
And by change, I mean changing the lives of the vast majority of Pakistanis who've been deprived of the basic necessities of life. By change, I mean not one aspect of their lives. By change, I mean an integrated development where we provide them basic health, basic education, clean environment, sewage system, microfinance, giving them skills so that they can stand on their own feet and give them options for their livelihood.
Please, everybody, welcome Fauzia ji. There's stairs to my left, actually.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank, on behalf of the Imran Khan Foundation, all those beautiful young ladies, Iram, Nabila, and some others, and their spouses, for hosting this event and giving us the opportunity of being here in San Francisco. Thank you so very much. It's beautifully done. The place is lovely. And thank you all for coming. You saw the video, and I will only briefly say this to you. There are several other organizations in Pakistan right now who, in the aftermath of the floods, are working to provide relief to those who have been affected. It's a large number of people, about 20 million people, as you know, have been affected by these floods. What makes the Imran Khan Foundation, I like to believe, a little bit different from the others is that ours is a long-time commitment to the reconstruction and rehabilitation of these people. We're there for the long haul. And it's not an easy task, it's a mammoth project, but it's all about not just building a home or providing food, it's about rebuilding lives. These are people who have lost just about everything, and it will take some time to bring them back up on their feet. And that is what the foundation is aiming to do, as you saw in the video. And I would please request you, you all have been very kind and you've always been very supportive. And I know that there have been other events for the flood relief in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. But I request you to please do open your hearts. Please help us and be our partners as we strive together to help rebuild and transform people's lives. God bless you. Thank you so much.
He was perhaps the greatest. He was a charismatic and inspiring leader. He is a tireless worker for charity and a champion of the poor and underprivileged. The Lion of Pakistan, Imran Khan. Victory in the 1992 World Cup.
When Imran was captain, there was never any question of anyone else being in charge. And I think that, probably more than anything, is what won them that World Cup down in Australia. And more than anything, it's the thing that has put him on a bit of a pedestal in terms of Pakistan cricket. I mean, Imran Khan is right up there, considered to be the number one man in Pakistan cricket.
He was the only one who always would tell us in the team meeting that we were going to win it. He was there always encouraging us, even when we were losing, even when somebody was winning. You know, to keep that that spirit going through when you're losing is important. I think he led simply outstandingly well in that World Cup.
He had a presence that managed to make Pakistan into world beaters, and that is the greatest thing he ever achieved, was unity in the team that he captained.
As a captain, Imran led his country with authority and vision.
I think he was Pakistan's greatest captain, there's no doubt about it. His ability to motivate youngsters was quite amazing. He passed on the art, he was always talking to the likes of Wasim or Waqar. And I think the attitude, when you see the aggressive attitude and positive attitude of the young Pakistani bowlers, you've got to thank Imran Khan for that, because he was instrumental there.
He was always there, the first one to be there at the ground and last one to leave the ground. He was a hard-working to the core, and that's what made him such a successful captain.
It is my honor and my privilege to introduce Mr. Imran Khan. Standing, come on, stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Now, I've forgotten I was going to talk about the floods, and after all, the cricket. I don't know where to start. It's taken my mind completely off the floods. Well, first of all, thank you very much. Such a wonderful attendance. It's my third fundraising in San Francisco. First one was when a lot of you were children. It was when we brought Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan here in San Francisco, when no one knew Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. And I remember that San Francisco was somehow different. First of all, let me just talk about the floods. I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes, and then I look forward to your question answers. Because, the problem with us politicians, you've forgotten that I'm a politician too, that we love the sound of our voices and get carried away. So I'll just briefly explain what was not shown on the flood video, because I got lost. This is the first time I've seen this cricket video. The expense, the administrative expense that IKF has for distributing relief goods, seeds, or building villages is less than 2%. So whatever money or a dollar that comes to IKF, only 2% goes into administrative costs. The rest all goes into, and this is very important, because here's someone who has been raising money for 20 years. It's very important that when you give to a charity, you must ask how much money does it actually get to the affected people. Because in Pakistan, sadly, and maybe in other countries too, but in Pakistan, it has become a big racket. Sometimes over 50% of the costs go into administration. So less than 50% actually gets to the people. So that's very important to know. And I'm very proud that IKF spends less than 2% on administrative costs. Secondly, we set up all the financial checks and balances and controls before we started raising money. We have the best auditors in Pakistan, Ferguson's, auditing our accounts. All our accounts are on our website. The audited accounts are on the website. So afterwards, maybe if anyone wants to know anything more about what we are doing, we will give you the website number. The third thing, what you saw on the screen does not actually tell you the true amount of damage done in Pakistan. 22 million people affected. Sadly, Pakistan has one of the most corrupt and incompetent governments when the floods came. So the problem with such a huge tragedy was that we did not have a government that could cope with it. Even if it was competent, it would have struggled to cope with it. And so people like us had no option but to join in. As a Pakistani, we had no option but to play our part. The impact of the floods is already being felt in Pakistan. Food inflation has been unprecedented. 30% of the land was underwater. That means that this area, all along the Indus, which was the breadbasket, which is the breadbasket of Pakistan, it means that we will have, because of food shortages, already we have the greatest food inflation in the country. So as prices go up, more and more people in Pakistan are falling under the poverty line. And this is why that seed distribution program was very important. Because the challenge was to get seeds across to the farmers. The farmers, 80% of them were subsistence farmers, lost everything. They lost their cattle, their livestock, their crops, and the seeds which they had stored for sowing in the month of November and early December. So the challenge was to get seeds across to as many farmers as possible, so that once they planted their crops, they would be able to get back on their feet. But I'm afraid, even if we try our best, if the government tried its best, still the country is going to suffer from these shortages. So what the next phase is now adopting villages. About 2,000 villages have been destroyed, some partially, some completely. We have taken responsibility of 100 villages. In these 100 villages, we hope to completely rehabilitate the people. In other words, help them in constructing their houses. We have partnered with various NGOs that specialize in certain fields. So we have partnered with Orangi Pilot Project to ensure that the sewage system is made in the villages. We have partnered with Citizen Foundation for schools. We have Shahzad Roy, who's done a great job in setting up a school, and a government school, completely restoring and setting up a government school in Karachi. We have partnered with him to set up a couple of schools in Sindh. We have partnered with Fatma Memorial to set up basic health units, especially with the emphasis for maternity cases. And then we have partnered with an NGO so that we could give microfinance to the people at 0 interest rate, so people can borrow money and get back on their feet. So the idea is to completely, in these 100 villages, completely restore the lives of the people. Now, so all the funds the more funds we have, the more villages we'll adopt. But at the moment, as I said, we have 100 villages in mind, and we have started work on 20 villages. Finally, from all of you, there was a wonderful, I think it was Sue who came along and spoke early on. What differentiates humans from animals? In the animal kingdom, it is might is right and survival of the fittest. A human society is only a human society if it has compassion, it cares for the underprivileged and weak, and if it has justice. And about, without borders, what you were talking about, in the Quran, the Almighty is God of all human beings. He's not God of Muslims alone. Rabbul Alameen, God of all human beings. So for a Muslim, it is whenever there is any human beings are going through a crisis, it is imperative on us to help them. So you sitting here are probably the most privileged Pakistani society anywhere in the world. And that's why I'm here, hoping that this evening you will break all records in giving us money. Yeah. Thank you.